Okay, that's us almost at time, so I think we'll make a start. So thank you very much to Sue White from Widget Software for doing a demo, a presentation to us today on Widget Software. And I think I'd just like to say at the start, Widget Software has been one of the programs companies that's been around for a long, long time. So they're certainly well established and very innovative. And I believe you'll be showing us some new innovative projects that Widgets have been working on today, Sue.
Yeah, we're going to have a look at Widget Online, which I'm hoping that not everybody's seen, and some of the new features that are part of Widget Online.
Okay, great, Sue. So Sue's going to be doing a presentation and demonstrating the software for the next 20 minutes. So if you have any questions, please pop them into the chat pane and we'll get Sue to answer them at the end. So thanks very much, Sue, and I'll just hand over to you. Thanks.
Okay, lovely, great. Thanks very much, everybody. It's lovely to sort of virtually be with you. So as Craig's mentioned, I'm Sue White. I'm the education consultant at Widget Software, which has been going for over 30 years now. So we are fairly well established in the market, although we are still a very small company. So I want to show you today Widget Online, which, as its name suggests, is an online program, cloud-based. You can access it from any Windows, Mac, iPad or tablet with an internet connection, which makes it really easy to use in all settings and in all circumstances. When you enter the program, you will see that there are two sides. There's a document side and a grid side. I'm going to show you both. Some of the features are the same in both sides. Some are specific to each one, but we'll talk through those as we go through. So if I enter into the document side, basically what I'm going into is a symbolised word processor. And it is literally as easy as typing a sentence. As soon as I type my sentence in, my symbols appear automatically. It's got what's called a smart symbolizer, so it knows the difference between a noun and a verb. Now, if I wanted to change the background colour of this document for a child that might be on the dyslexia spectrum, for example, then I can do that by from the page setup menu. It's where I get in portrait landscape as well, but we'll just put a buff background in because actually that's easier for everybody to see, but obviously is very helpful if you've got a child with visual distress, visual disturbances. The fonts that we have automatically in FSME font, it's an accessibility font, so it has nice G's, nice A's, but there are a range of other fonts. Open Dyslexic, very useful. Practice Writing, where you've got the dotted lines, and we do have some new fonts coming in our next update. One of the other things that you can do is make sure that you've always got the correct symbol. So we have over 18,000 symbols in our symbol set, and choices will appear in the symbol chooser on the right-hand side. Now, Ruby's quite particular, and she likes to only go on the red swings. So we can change the colour of any symbol by going to the Edit Colours palette. Every icon is self-explanatory, but when I hover my mouse over, I do get an explanation as well. So if I want to change the colour of the swing to red, then I click on the bit that I want to go red, and OK, and I've changed the colour of my swing. Ruby would also like to have her photograph in this particular social story. It's very easy to add photographs to any Widget Online document or indeed grid. I do that simply by replacing the symbol with an image, going into my graphics. And so anywhere in my computer where I've got photographs stored, and clicking on Ruby and uploading. Now I can easily save these changes to make them permanent. they will appear while I'm in this particular session, but if I want to make them permanent, then I need to do so through going to the Tools ribbon. Everything is ribbon based. So if you're used to using Word or PowerPoint, then it's a similar sort of layout. You go to the particular ribbon that you want to for the particular activity that you're doing. Most of the time we need to be in text and symbols because we're editing things. Okay, so let's add another sentence. One of the important things to do when you're symbolising is to make sure that it's not visually overloaded. So in this instance, we might want to remove the symbol for very, and we do that simply by clicking on the icon with the red line, no symbol, and that removes that symbol. You can see here that I previously coloured the swing to match. This is the original symbol for swing. But I've done one before and made it red so that I can keep the consistency available. Now let's imagine that Ruby's got a pet name for a swing. She calls a swing a sky high. So I can keep my symbol and change the text. That's a really useful function to be able to rename for pets, for schools, for pet names for things. So you keep your symbol, but you can rename the text. And again, you can save that for future use. I also want to put in this social story a picture of the park that Ruby likes to visit, and I can do that by adding a graphic from my layout and graphics ribbon. So we can add a paragraph graphic, and again I can upload the image very easily. So we'll have the park. I can increase the size of this. I can central, left or right, justify however I wish to present. And let's just move down there. Now, one of the other things that you can do with Widget Online is have it read back to you. So as well as it being useful for a resource tool for teachers to use, it can actually be used for students who are perhaps reluctant writers and are motivated by hearing their text read aloud and also by seeing the symbols appear. So if I were to go to the Tools section and highlight the section that I want to hear read aloud, click on the speech icon.
Ruby likes the sky high.
We do have a selection of different languages. That was Mari, Scottish Child. We also have Andrew and a whole range of different ones as well. Going along the theme of a reluctant writer, it's also possible to dictate into Widget Online. So if you've got a child perhaps on the autistic spectrum who really doesn't like writing, or again a articulate but able dyslexic who won't write because of their spelling difficulties, then they can actually dictate into Widget Online. Using the Tools ribbon and the speech input, you'll have to believe me that I am now dictating, not typing. Sometimes Mum worries when Ruby is too high, full stop. Okay, and you can see there that that's picked up what I've said. It's very basic in terms of its punctuation. So I need to actually add a capital letter there. It will pick up full stops, exclamation marks, commas, and so on, but it's nowhere near as sophisticated as something like drag and dictate. Any symbol that has skin, flesh, we can change the skin tone. So back to my text and symbols ribbon and skin tone here. I can make that more appropriate for the individual that I'm working with. So that's essentially the symbol document. There are other bits that you can do with it, but we're just having a little bit of a taster today. I can copy and paste this out into Word, PowerPoint, Smartboard presentations, and just as easily I can copy and paste text into Widgit Online from Word, web pages, previously made resources, and it will automatically symbolize. Now, if I were to save this and show you, I'll show you what happens once we've saved. So I'm not going to save this just because it's a little bit of the time. I'm just going to go straight to one that I'd made earlier. So we're just trying to, there we go. So Scotland webinar. So this is what where it would appear had we saved it. If I want to go back in and edit, I can do that from here. If I want to create a PDF to print or send, I can do that from here. But I also have something called a view option. If I click on the view option, this creates, I like to call it sort of like a PDF online. So you can see that this is what we've made. I can hear that read aloud from here.
Ruby likes the sky high.
Okay, I can print from here. What I can also do is get a direct link. Now this is where this is stored in the cloud. So if I were to send this link to a parent or a colleague or a student, they would click on the link, don't need to subscribe to Widgit Online, and they would actually see this view, which can be viewed on a tablet, a phone, a computer. So it makes it mobile. So if I'm doing a social story and I want parents to recap that social story while they're out and about, they can view this on their phones. I think it makes it very versatile. I'm just going to head back now to the home page. And we're going to go and have a look at the grids. So what you have with Widgit Online are over 140 different templates. They're the templates that you need for everyday creation of resources. So you've got flashcards, you've got picture word banks, word walls, themes, symbol word matching, vocabulary sheets. In the activities section, you've got dominoes and bingo, top trumps, odd one out. You've got mind maps, hierarchy diagrams, Venn diagrams, timetables and planners, daily, weekly, sequence, now and next boards, schedules. A whole range of different templates which are all pre-formatted and ready for you. What you can't do is create a template from scratch. You only have, say, the 140 plus templates that we've provided. You can, however, customize any that have a magic wand. So if I want 5 rows and 7 columns, I can create that. Let's just go into a 2x3 flashcard and imagine we want to make some flashcards or some labeling, and I'll show you how this one works as well. So everything is pre-formatted. You don't need to do anything other than populate with your vocabulary. Tabbing between cells. Don't, so just fill those ones in. So some of the things that we can do, you'll see again ribbon arrangement, you'll see again similar icons. I can actually flip the orientation of a symbol should I wish to. So we could change the orientation of our pencils or whatever symbol. Again, I can choose the appropriate symbol. So we'll go for this type of rubber. It's possible to have 2 symbols in a cell. So if I want to have big and whiteboards indicated, then by clicking in the cell, I can add a second symbol to my frame. So we'll add the whiteboard. So we've got two symbols within now. Again, we can rename symbols. So we've put in the Pritt stick there, but if we use the change symbol text icon, we can just call this blue. Okay. Option for black and white. For some young people, colour is too distracting, and black and white is actually better for them. So we can change to black and white. And again, I can add a photograph. Slightly different at the moment. I can go into my image library, and this will show me any images that I've previously used. So here are my stick magnets. I can just pop those in. The next update of Widgit Online, the document side will have this same image library in it. One of my favourite things on Widgit Online is something called populate frames. So if I just add a page here, which I can do from the add page icons, both before and after. So we'll add a page after, put my cursor there. Within our tools menu, we have something called populate frames. And what that allows you to do is to copy a list of words into one of the templates. You can use any template. So obviously I'm in this one, we'll just use this one for now. But this works particularly well in the vocabulary list template. So I'm just going to find a list of words. So these would be topic words for your teaching. They could be a list of articulation words to practice. So I'm just going to copy those. And paste those into my populate frames tool. Then I want to populate frames starting from my selected frame here. Could have done it from the start of the document if I'd got a new one. The words will go in automatically. Symbols take a little bit longer to come along, but they will come in as well. Here they come. So I don't need to type in every word. I can just create this resource very quickly. And as I say, that's really nice in particularly a vocabulary list template. Other things I can do, I can colour. So I can let's find a blank page. Pop in a blank page. Okay. I can change the background colour. So in my formatting ribbon, I can change the background colour of a cell. I can change the line colour. So if you work with colourful semantics, that's very handy in order to be able to colour code your different parts of the sentence. Let's put in my dog. I can have symbol only, word below the symbol, word above the symbol, word only. So lots of different options for creating resources in different ways within the templates. Okay, right. Final thing I just want to show you is the dual language feature. Before we have a quick look at some prices and then hand over for questions. So within the grids, we have a dual language feature, which allows you to create resources both in English and a second language. We do have Scottish Gaelic. We also have, obviously, all the language that Google currently translates. Again, you have your templates, so a range of different templates. This time we'll have a quick look at a central theme. And I can choose from the 80 languages that Google currently translates. Anything that has a speaker icon next to it, will mean that it can be read aloud both in English and that second language from the view function. So if we go for Japanese, for example, create the documents. We create in English. You can create in Japanese as well if you happen to be a Japanese speaker. Everything that is created is editable. So if you do have native speakers who want to just tweak things, they can do that. In a few more emotions. Just a few examples there. Again, we could change the skin tones of these to make them more appropriate, should we wish to. By selecting across all the cells and translating, I've now created my dual language resource. If I wanted to create a modern foreign language resource, I could choose a different language. So let's go into, I can't find French, there we go, French. Okay, retranslate that. So we now have some French, and then I could, even if I wanted to, turn off the primary language of English and just have a French word mat on emotions. Again, if I saved that and looked at that in the view, which we'll just do very quickly. So here we've got the Japanese ones here in the view. I can hear that read aloud both in English and Japanese when we get there. There we go. So if I click on the English,
sad.
If I click on the Japanese,
悲しい.
and again, if you imagine this being the MFL resource where we just have the French, that could be the direct link could be posted on a homework site, sent out to iPads. All students could then be clicking on the link. They could be viewing the vocabulary, hearing it, and practicing their pronunciation as well. So that's a very quick whistle-stop tour on Widgit Online. Let me just get a couple of prices and things up for you. It is a subscription-based program. You can purchase the number of users that you wish to subscribe. So if that's just a single person in a school, you're looking at £50 a year plus VAT. Our family account is 6 users. Our class account is 40 users. We do have a small school account, 150 users, which comes in at £300 a year, and we can do quotes for larger schools and larger numbers of users as well. The dual language pack is an additional one-off cost, so it's only paid in the first year. You can see your prices there. For the small school, 150 users, that comes in at £150 plus VAT. So that's all I want to kind of say in terms of my 20-minute, I'm slightly over, presentation. But I'm very happy, obviously, to answer questions. Craig, if there are any that people want to
yeah, that was excellent, Sue. Thank you. Yeah, it's really, really excellent, and it works so smoothly. Great. There's a question from Emma, but before I ask Emma's question, I have my own question. So presumably, that I would say one of the benefits of having the online version as opposed to an installable version is it might be easier for, I don't know, teachers or schools to, to access the online without having to speak to IT to get things installed and all this sort of stuff.
Absolutely, and as an ex-teacher myself, I know the frustrations of not having admin rights to install things. So no installation. Don't have to try and find the machine that Imprint 3 or whatever is actually installed on. It will work on any machine with an internet connection. And obviously you can do things at home. Nobody likes to do things at home, but it's a fact of life. We all have to work at home after school. So yeah, it just makes it so much easier to access.
Okay, thanks. Emma's asking, with the CD-ROM, they have to export the file to be able to print. So I guess you're talking about imprint there, probably.
Yeah.
Would we still have to do this with the online version?
No, so the online version, let's just go back into it. If I must say, actually, Communicate Imprint 2, our old version of the installed desktop program, you did have to do quite a palaver to get a PDF out to print, but Imprint 3 is much easier. You can just literally create a PDF and print from there. With Widgit Online, as soon as you've created something, let's go back into our so this is the same both on the document and the grid side. I can print directly from here, so I've got a print option, so I can print directly from the PDF there, or from when I've saved. I've got the PDF version that I can then go to and print. So
okay, great. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Emma. If there are any other questions, please pop them in the chat pane. Shirley's saying she loves the direct link feature, great for easy school home links. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I suppose with the online version, whenever there's an update, the update just happens automatically as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So there are some new features coming in the next update. As I mentioned, the symbol chooser and the image library will be in the new document. We've got some new fonts coming, a Lexend font, which is good for reading fluency, and a more of a cursive font coming. And yeah, because it's a subscription, because it's online, those are just all automatic updates.
Okay. Donna's asking, do you have to name individual learners when they're signing up?
Yeah, so each person that has a log on will have a username and a password. If you wanted to have a class username, so it was accessible to all the members of your class, you could just have class 3 as the username and the password, and then various members of the class could use that particular log on. So you don't have to have an individual one for each child, but you can do if you wish to.
Yeah, that's quite good. I think that idea of sort of class logon would be
yeah, that works really well, I think, for most schools.
Okay. Right. I don't know if there's any more questions for. Can you? What's your email address, Sue? I'll pop it in, so if anyone has any questions, you can get in touch with you.
Yeah, of course. You can come direct to me, which is sue@widgit.com. Or if you want to go into our info@widgit.com, that's fine. Just do make sure that you type WIDGIT, because spell checkers do have a tendency to replace the I with an E, and then we don't tend to get things.
Okay, thanks, Sue. There's don't appear to be any more questions, so I'd just like to thank everyone for joining today, and especially to you, Sue, for doing such a fantastic webinar for us. That was great. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thanks very much for inviting me.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Well, thanks, everyone. Stay safe, and hopefully you'll come to some of our other call webinars. So thank you very much, and thanks, Sue. Okay, we'll close off for just now. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.